Hey guys, what's going on? Ciao ragazzi. It's the Milan Guys Podcast, episode 20. We're back with another episode. Um, we just had a long fight with university exams, and they're finally over for the year. School's out for the summer. It's time for an episode. I'm your host, Luca LaPorta. I'm with the other guy of the Milan Guys, Mike. Finally comes out for the start of a show. Mike, how's it going, man?
It's good, guys. I'm glad to be back. It's been a long time coming. It feels like forever I've been on, but better late than never. So I'm glad to be back. Lots to talk about, so let's get into it.
It's way easier to do a podcast like in the summer because there's no school.
Oh, yeah.
There's no school stress, right?
Exactly.
You're not really doing much. Lots to talk about, as there always is in the Milan world. Let's be serious. It's crazy. It's basically reactionary Twitter FC.
Basically, yeah.
I'm actually, honestly, if I'm being honest, I'm getting kind of sick and tired of a lot of guys on Twitter. It's really annoying when we win. We have Xavi, Maradona, Messi on our team. Everybody's the best. And when we lose, this guy needs to be sold. This guy needs to be sold. Coach needs to be fired. Sporting director needs to be fired. Club needs to be resold again to someone else. It's just kind of embarrassing that way. It's just Twitter. Twitter means literally nothing, honestly. But still, the fans, the Twitter accounts and whatever, and Facebook, the team sees the comments, and what can they do? I don't know. If the players don't score, they're not going to win. That's pretty simple. I don't know. I had an exam during the Benevento game. I watched the first half, and I had to go write an exam. So we went into the halftime with down 1-0. So I was writing my exam. I thought to myself, okay, hopefully I'm going to come out of this exam and see that we scored one or two goals. I called before I turned my phone on. I didn't even look at the score. I just called my buddy Lucas. I said, okay, tell me good news. And he's like, well, I'm not really going to say anything. I'm like, great, okay. I look, and we lose 1-0 to Benevento Calcio di Campania.
Yeah, I was actually writing an exam, and it just ended before the start of the game. So by the time I got home, I was able to catch the second half. And as I was commuting back home, I'm like, they scored. I'm like, I thought my phone just had a glitch. I couldn't believe that they scored. And then as I get home, just watching, it was just such a lifeless game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, but the thing is with that is Benevento, they took one opportunity, they scored on their one opportunity, and then they defended really well. Actually, I rewatched the game. I rewatched the second half after when I came home, but they looked pretty organized. And the thing is, though, they're going to be known as the team with the worst team in Serie A history, but that stat lies because they had a really bad start, and that they're not the worst team in Serie A history. They looked pretty decent. I've seen teams worse than that because they made all these transfers in January. I don't know why these teams who are trying to stay in Serie A. Basically, Benevento's plan was, okay, we're going to stay afloat till the transfer market, hopefully be in contention, then make some signings. Teams who come up from Serie B, they have to make their signings in the summer if they want to stay. A bad start could be crucial. And if the season started in 2018, Benevento wouldn't even be close to relegation, I don't think. I think they have 18 points or 17 or something like that.
Well, 4 of them came from us.
Yeah, obviously. Unfortunately, don't remind me.
Oh, I know. It's like I tweeted out that other day. We're literally, it's just so annoying that we become that team that just gives people chances. Oh, you've never scored before? Play us, you're going to score. You've never picked up a point before? Play us, you're going to get the point.
Yeah, I know.
And being that team, it's the most annoying thing.
The problem is that, when you don't score goals, who are you going to beat?
Nobody.
I've been saying this all season that we have goal scoring problems, and people kind of said, "Nah, we're good, we're good." Fiorentina, all these teams have more goals than us. We don't score goals. We just don't. We started to score more goals a bit when Gattuso came in, and we conceded way less, and we still have conceded way less. We gave that one goal to Sassuolo, which was a nice goal from. It was a nice shot from Politano. To be fair, nice volley. But that Sassuolo match, we dominated. We Sassuolo. I don't think they left their half. They left their half in the second half. Other than that goal, that Politano goal.
No, I don't think so either.
No, they didn't. We conceivably made like 10 quality saves.
Yeah, but he always shows up as like this monster against us. I mean, he is, to be fair, he is a great goalie. Like, I'm not going to deny his talent at all.
No, I said against you.
He seems to have like an extra boost of energy when he plays us. I don't know what it is.
I think he twerks for Juve though. He led 7 goals.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, seems like it. He probably got paid like a Rolex, something like that for it.
Fiat.
But that Sassuolo match, right? Like, I got really angry because, like, people are like, "Oh yeah, the coach." What do you mean the coach? Like, these people don't know anything about sports who say that. Like, they think that the coach is the be all and end all of every single sport. Like, the players are on the field whatever sport it is, field, ice, diamond, anything. The players are on there. The players are there. Like, I don't understand.
It's just unfortunate because right now we're in quite a bit of a slump because it seemed like we've come off a little bit of like a honeymoon period.
Yeah.
From like it was almost like every game I was watching, like I had this confidence that it's like, you know, we can't be beaten. Like literally no one's gonna beat us. Like whether it's a win or a tie, like we just will not lose. And it felt that way for such a long period of time. And then it's like, okay, like it kind of in the moment it felt amazing, but now that we're in the slump, you look back on it. It kind of felt like a little too perfect. You know what I mean? Like there weren't any bumps in the road. Like we're kind of paying for it now. Like it was a little too perfect in a sense. Like it helped a lot because, you know, we're still 6th place. Like, and you know, we'll end up in Europa League, but
we're 7th.
7th, yeah, but we're fighting for it regardless. But I'm talking more Europa League because for me personally and honestly, I know there's a lot of people who are going to say that, like, I'm not saying it now because we're out of it. I genuinely felt this way from the beginning of the season. Even after Gattuso took over and we went on that run, I never thought Champions League was a thing for us.
No, exactly. No one did.
I never did. I'm a realistic person. Like, I like to dream as well, but you also have to be realistic. And I say it all the time. Like, for a team to be in Champions League, even to qualify, not even talk about succeeding in the actual tournament, you have to have a deep roster. And you can't make Champions League with the start that we had with Montella. You can't. There's literally no way. Yeah. Especially how well, like, I understand the Italian league, the Serie A, is not what it used to be in terms of talent-wise. However, as like cultural fans, we still know it's a very competitive league. And
of course,
whether you're talking Juve, Napoli, Lazio, Roma, Inter, like they're competitive teams. They're all fighting for the same thing. So it's not just going to be a breeze to get it. Like, you need to have the assets. And by that, I mean like a bench, which we don't have, which I've tweeted out before. You need all those things in place in order to make that. Right now, we don't have it. That's why Europa League is more fitted for us until we fix those issues.
It's true. I agree. We were going to talk about that later in the show, but honestly, I'll talk about it now. Basically with that is that, like, I don't know. What do you think? Do you want Europa League or no?
For me, it's like it's a process. Like, I think people don't understand that. Like 2 weeks ago, it's been officially years since we've been bought over and switched management from the Chinese. Like, it hadn't even been a year until a couple weeks ago, and people are expecting that we were just gonna go out and win the league. Like, I understand in the summer, like, it was crazy with all these signings, like, but you also have to understand that, like, you can't just throw a team together and expect them to win. Mm-hmm. Like, it just doesn't happen that way. It takes time. Like, I always bring up Juve, for example, as much as I hate them. Like, after the relegation and all that kind of stuff, look how many years it took for them to finally come back to being relevant and fighting for a position. Like, they were out in 2006, 2007, and then it didn't take for them to 2012 to finally actually win it again and like take it from us. Like, it took them a good 5 years. Like, we just hit the 1 year mark in a proper rebuild, because the Berlusconi era in the last 5 years before that was not a rebuild. That was just a shit show. So now that we're actually rebuilding, got to give it time. Like, I understand it's frustrating and you're associating this rebuild with a team like Milan. Like, it's a big name team used to winning, et cetera, et cetera. But we're not that kind of team anymore. We have to find a better identity, and we have to understand that rebuilding and getting to the top again is going to take time.
Yeah, no, it's true. And even as much as I hate Juve so much, I actually tweeted before their game against Napoli, and I look at their starting lineup and I look at their bench, and I say, well, that's the depth you need to compete. Obviously, they haven't won because they didn't perform well in the final every single time they played, which is a one-game thing, right? Anybody can win one game, but when you look at it, they have so many players fighting for spots. And that's the thing that we need and should be addressed this summer. We brought in people, in my opinion, people who say that this is the banter era still. I don't think so. The reason I don't think so is because, the quality of players we have on the pitch, we've never had this quality in the last 5 years.
We've had all these free signings.
No, are you telling me Bonucci's the same as Paletta, like Zapata? Like, are you kidding me? No. Like,
I think it's just more of a Twitter thing. That's what people like. You know what I mean? It's kind of
it's
more
funny.
Twitter banter.
They want to be funny, yeah. They want to be funny, but they're really not funny. Like, they're not. Like, it gets old. The jokes get old. Great, okay. But here's the thing. Like, every team drops points. Like, here's the thing. If we had a better start, if we would have got points against teams we should have in the start of the year, dropping that match against Benevento wouldn't have been that costly. Because we would have had other points. Like, the problem is that, all these teams, bar Juve, have dropped points to teams they shouldn't have. Napoli dropped points to Sassuolo this season.
And we didn't take advantage of it because we were dropping points at the same time. So the gap remained.
Yeah, of course. So, but Inter lost to Genoa. It just happens. Like, like, these people think that these teams, like, these small teams, when they're playing a big team, they just say, okay, they're going to beat us. Let's just let them beat us. Like,
look at Madrid. They're struggling in their league. Obviously, they're doing well in the Champions League. But even a team like that's struggling in their own league.
Yeah, but you got teams teams, when they play against big teams, they fight. They play harder. They want to go out and prove, like, they know that more people are watching the game. So they want, scouts and whatnot, and maybe they'll get a big money sign if they play well. You know what I mean? So they're going out there. And what people don't understand is that all these players who are playing for the big clubs, most likely a lot of them are coming from these smaller clubs they're playing against. So that means that there's gems within these teams that could control a game. Like Politano, for example, he's playing at a club. He should be playing at a bigger club. He's good enough, I think. So when Politano scores on you, it's not really embarrassing that Matteo Politano scores. He's scoring 8 other Serie A teams too. Obviously, you don't want Yamello and Benevento scoring against you. To be fair, it was a nice pass. I think it was offside. I think VAR got it wrong.
It was, but at the end of the day,
I think VAR got it wrong. Nice pass, nice finish. It wasn't a cheesy goal or anything. You know what I mean? I hate when we concede cheesy goals and they don't deserve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like in any sport, if any team's gonna score on my team, I say, okay, at least earn the goal. You know what I mean? Earn the goal. You score a nice goal, what are you gonna do, right? But I hate those cheesy, chippy goals that go like those piss me off because it's like,
unfortunately, it's part of the sport. It's not even
and everybody kills me about luck. Sports are about luck. You have to get lucky. You have to get lucky in sports. Like, you have to get bounces to go your way. If bounces don't go your way, you're probably not going to win. Like, as something as simple as a player slipping and you take advantage of the turnover, lucky, a bounce, or even the ball bounces off the post and goes right to your foot, an open net, instead of going a foot.
It's got to be at the right place at the right time. Like,
yeah, but like in sports, right? We're in Canada, we watch hockey and stuff. Like, how many times the puck bounce over a guy's stick and it gives a guy a breakaway?
Yeah, it's just the nature of the sport. You have to you have to be lucky, but at the same time, you need to put yourself in that position. Like,
of course, no, of course, but like, it's just like, it's not the banter era because the way we play, this is probably the most excited I get to watch a Milan team. And even though I don't score that much, the style of play, I know we have an identity with Gattuso.
Exactly. Like, it's not even about that. Like, I like the point that you said, like, I actually enjoy watching it. For the last couple of years, like, I never miss a game unless something drastic, like I literally can't watch it, right? But before, when you're watching it, it's like it was just watching just to watch because you're a fan of the team. Like there was no like hype for it. There was because the expectation was like we're probably gonna lose this game. Like I remember so many times watching like I was just like, okay, I know they're gonna lose this game. Let me watch to see how bad. Now watching even during the slump, like there's still a chance. Like you know what I mean? Like you're watching the game. Like I noticed like I don't know, maybe it's the theorem man or whatever, but every time we score first, we typically end up winning. I mean, I don't know if it's probably not happened before, but during that honeymoon run, I'll call it, every time we scored first, we won. Even if we conceded after, like
against Torino, we scored first, and they drew. But the reason why was because of Abate error. Like it seems like we're only conceding goals when we make an error. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, but again, that's on us. But what I'm trying to say is that at least now watching, there's more of a chance of you winning, and it's more enjoyable. Like the quality of play is a lot better than what it used to be. Yes, it could still be a lot better, and sometimes it can be frustrating. But I will take what I'm watching now than what I was watching the last 2 or 3 years because that was actually embarrassing.
Absolutely, like it's as simple as that too. Like literally as simple as that. As in, this is not. I don't feel it's the banter era. Honestly,
no, we're getting out of it. We're trying to get out.
We're getting out of it, and again, we have to get depth. Like Mirabelli and Fasson, sure, maybe they made some mistakes, but you look at what they brought in, right? Okay, Kalinic, big mistake. Okay, we got it. Okay, we understand. We've heard it from every single person spits a new hot take on Kalinic every single day, which everybody's saying the same thing. We get it. But you bring a guy in like, for example, Conti. That's a fantastic signing. Unfortunately, what are you going to do? Out of our control. He got injured. And Calabria's, but maybe a blessing in disguise in a way, because now Calabria has turned himself into a mature fullback. That right back, tandem, whatever. That's depth. Like Conti, Calabria. That's what you need. You need those two guys.
I completely agree. Because now you're giving Calabria confidence, and he can even try and fight for the spot too, knowing that like I would love, obviously, like no disrespect to Calabria, but obviously I'm going to take the better play in Conti. But at least in Calabria's eyes, knowing that Conti, he's been injured for quite some time. Let's see the way he returns, etc. Like he still knows he has a chance. Whether you're playing a smaller team, okay, Calabria can come in. He's going to do a good job. Or Conti maybe he's not fit. You can rely on Calabria. Before it was like if one of our starting players, at least regardless of any position, wasn't playing, like you were scared because you knew the bench wasn't capable enough of fulfilling that role. At least with Calabria now, like you have a solid replacement. Like it's a good backup.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly. And this like, depth is so huge. And like, for example, we look at Juve's team, right? They have Alexandro and Asamoah. They start like Asamoah started against Napoli last week. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's simple as that. Like they have guys they have depth in that area. Obviously, they miss a few guys. Like, I don't know. They got the Deschilio, which is interesting, but again, Deschilio as a depth right back is better than Deschilio as a starting right back forever.
And like you have a good team, and that's the level I've tried to keep on saying that we need to eventually get at, and that's what we aspire to get to. Is two things. Like if you can take your bench and your reserves, and they're good enough to be a starting 11 in the league, that's how you have depth. And number two, whether it's a big match or another game or a crucial game, regardless of what the scenario may be, if, for example, one of your top players goes out or they're injured, red card, etc., and you have a sub that you're not worried about that sub because you know that sub will more and well do his job, that's how you have depth. Right now, we don't have that. Someone goes out, you're kind of like, like a left back goes up, Borini's got to play left back. Like, that's not his position. He's going to do his best. He's going to try hard, but you would rather sleep well at night knowing that you actually have a proper left back who's decent enough to fulfill that role. Right now, we don't have that. Like in defense, we kind of do because we have Musacchio's not bad. We have Zapata when he's concentrated, he's good.
Yeah, Zapata's good. I don't want to sell Zapata. I think Zapata's a really good depth defender. Personally, I don't really want to sell him.
We need both of them because Romagnoli's had a little tiny history with injuries, but like also at the same time, Bonucci as well. He's always been known that player to pick up cards as well too. So especially as defenders in this league, they eventually catch up to you cards and injuries. So to have those two in our reserves, like it's not it's a great problem to have.
Mm-hmm. But you look at also like Romagnoli was hurt and Bonucci was suspended against a Napoli team that can score goals. They can score. Musacchio and Zapata, who haven't played together since Villarreal days, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, they come in and get a clean sheet. And people still have the balls and tenacity to say, oh, yeah, the coach is bad. Oh, this is all bad. Everything's bad. These players don't play. Whatever. It's not true. It's reactionary, AC reactionary. Again, we have quality within the team. There's obviously areas, but I think that, we're obviously a lot of guys are tired now, which makes sense. We're all human. Let's be serious. But
we were playing in 8 days, like almost 3 games between the league on the weekend and the Europa League, and then again on the weekend.
No, exactly. And it was tough.
Again, we didn't have a bench to replace those guys. Look at Kessie. Kessie's been playing every freaking game.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up how many minutes. I'm gonna pull up how many minutes he's played.
He's played a ridiculous amount of minutes. I know they tried getting him rest a few times, but
he's playing.
And he fights through it. Props to him. He fights through it. He's a warrior. That guy. I love that guy. Yes. But at the same time, imagine a refreshed Kessie coming into play against a Napoli or a Juve versus a Kessie that is going to work hard, but he's got quite a bit of miles under him. You know what I mean? Obviously,
you look at his game log, and it's all 90 across.
Yeah, the guy, he's a workhorse, but you know what? You still got to give the guy a rest.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing: who's going to go in his spot?
Exactly, we don't have anyone to fulfill that spot.
We're not going to put Jose Mauri in his spot.
No.
Let's see. He's played approximately. They don't have the Coppa Italia minutes on here, but 4 times 9. He has about maybe 37 to 3,800 minutes this season.
That's crazy.
Okay. Let's compare that with someone else. I'm going to compare that with another midfielder in Serie A. Compare that with, let's go with the guy from Juve, Matuidi. Matuidi's played about maybe around 1,000 minutes, almost 1,000 minutes less.
The big difference, especially since the game is only 90 minutes.
A huge difference. And someone has brought it up in the live chat. Why do we sell Kuchka? You know what? I do miss Kuchka in a way.
That would have been a perfect Kessie replacement. That was one of the sellings that in the summer that I was completely against.
No, so was I. And I really loved Kuchka.
And we miss him.
I do miss him.
You know what? Even if some people had a fair enough point, I won't agree and I won't disagree. I'll say it's a fair point that maybe I won't even say the system, just because how low quality the team was when he was here. Maybe he looked a little better, he kind of outshined. Oh, yeah, but regardless, he's still a good enough player that, for me, we're talking about Kessie replacement, he would have been the perfect Kessie replacement.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously not as skilled, but they're guys who go and work hard. They'll get, they'll do that decisive foul. They'll win you that decisive ball. They'll do their role. He would have been perfect replacement.
Absolutely. And it's unfortunate that we had to sell him. And, I wish him the best. He actually scored a sick goal a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw him. Crazy.
But it's tough because imagine, Kessie could play, 70 or whatnot. Kuchka comes on, plays 20. Kuchka could start a match in his place, just to rest him. And we have depth in some areas. For defenders, we're fine. If we don't sign, I don't want to sign another center back this summer. We don't need it. We have enough defenders. You know what I mean? We have enough central defenders. That's center halves. We have 5, right? We have 5 of them for 2 spots.
Yeah, I don't mind selling Gustavo Gomez, but I'm keeping Musacchio and Zapata for sure.
For sure. And if you get a guy maybe Matteo Gabbia, maybe he can make he's been with the first team. He can play center back too.
We have options. It's more, I don't really know we don't really have a left back up.
Well, no, the problem is we have to get depth at left back. If for a dream Mercato I don't want to talk about it yet, we'll do that later on in the summer. But for depth, if we're gonna talk about depth, we need the depth as a left.
We did sign that guy from Sampdoria. What's his name? Is Trimic? Yeah.
If we get him for free, I'm okay with it. As long, I said on Twitter to you guys too. If we make some free signings, sure, I don't care, whatever. However, that has to be in addition to the key signings we make for money. If we're only making 3 free signings in the Calcio Mercato for the summer, no way. I'm gonna be pissed off. But if we're gonna make a couple frees and then 2 or 3 signings with 25 million each, whatever the heck we have, makes sense. Like that's okay. And actually, you know what? There's a lot of let me go to it. I quoted it yesterday. There's a lot of players who are free agents this summer, right? Which I wouldn't be opposed to offering a contract. Let's see. Jack Wilshere, Emre Can, Luke Shaw, Fellaini, Chiellini, Balotelli, Asamoah, Cabaye, Ben Arfa, Yaya Toure, Santi Cazorla, and Max Meyer. Or Mayer. Mayer or Meyer. I think it's Meyer. These guys are all available on a free. I don't know. I feel like that, like I said, if we offer a contract of 2 or 3 of these guys, and they didn't even put Bernard on there from Shakhtar, the guy we've been linked with. Apparently, there's been rumors of they blocked the transfer of Bernard. I'm not sure how true it is.
I don't know. For me, I don't like talking. I can easily talk about selling players because that's in our control. But when it comes to buying players, and today's April 27th, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like all this Mercato talk right now is kind of premature, but
especially because we're not in control of. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it goes up to the team.
Absolutely, and with that, we'll make. I'm confident we'll make the changes. Like we're not gonna, because and as I said it to a friend a couple of days ago. Losing that game against Benevento and not scoring, actually might be positive in a way that the management says, crap, we know what we need to fix this summer. And Mirabelli actually said after the game, we know what we have to do. So if they say, crap, we're not scoring goals, get more creativity within the team. You know what I mean?
No, I know. I think everyone knows the issues.
No, I don't. What happens if we kept winning, though? If we kept winning, they wouldn't.
No, I know what you mean. What I'm saying is, for me, they were still apparent during the winning streak. But they're more apparent and more there's more of a light shined on them now that obviously you're not doing well.
Yeah, we didn't score much. We didn't score much. Even when we won games every week, we never really scored that much. It
was more like clutching out the victory. Like you played well enough to keep them at bay. Like that's kind of how it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But let's move on to the striker talk.
Yeah, let's go. What do you think?
Especially that let's segue away from not scoring to the reason why.
Yeah.
For me, it's such a hard topic to talk about because for me, I don't know, this may be an unpopular opinion. And no, I'm not saying I want Colin to stay. He can go. So don't think about that. But for me, I don't know, maybe my head's still stuck from 2 years ago, but I don't know what it is. Maybe this time it's different, but I always used to complain about the midfield not being creative enough to give the service to the forwards. Yeah. Now I feel like it still lacks creativity. However, it's more than what we used to have. So now it's up to the strikers. Because at times, if I'm seeing Cutrone having to come back and create for himself, we already lost the game. Because he's not that kind of guy. You give him the ball in the box, he's going to finish it for you.
It's like asking Inzaghi to nutmeg 4 guys for scoring.
We don't have that kind of guy like a Benzema or like Higuain who can take the ball in the last 3/4 of the field and they'll take it up and they'll create something out of nothing. Or a Janko. We don't have that. We have guys who need the ball on their feet.
I don't know. No, but Andre Silva is supposed to be that guy who can do that.
Well, I don't know.
But then again, has he really got the ball? It seems like whenever he gets the ball, he's in our half. You know what I mean?
It's a combination. It's for me, and I think this is the best way to put it. It's a combination of a lack of service. Cause I won't even say creativity because they had chances to create and they haven't scored. So I think it's a lack of service when we plateau on the field. You know what I mean? The ball's not flowing as much. It's kind of staying static around the midfield.
Yeah,
it's a reduction of the ball going forward, but at the same time, when these guys actually do receive the ball, they've been struggling to put that ball in the net Because again, once the ball gets to them, everyone's done their job. It's up to them. That's what they're there for. That's what they're paid to do, right?
Yeah.
In obvious terms.
Mhm.
So it's been annoying because, like you look at Kalinic, like the ball's literally on a goal. It's on a goal play from him, and he literally can't finish it.
But like it's tough because I've watched Kalinic with Fiorentina. This is not the player that he
No,
he scores like he's a 13 to 15 goal player in the Serie A. Like as much as everybody calls him a draft and whatnot, that's what he is. Like that's what he's proven to be.
he's just not doing it.
This
Unfortunately,
has been a nightmare season for him because you know what? I honestly like. Here's my thing with sports, whatever. Like, I feel like the personal, are a little too much. It's not like he's not trying. It's not like he doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like
he's been in a funk the entire season.
Exactly.
He can't get out of it, which is unfortunate because for us, because I don't know, I kind of went with it when they signed him because obviously Montella was our coach at the time, and if if a coach wants a player, like you're gonna trust in your coach, right? But obviously now that he's gone, like I was never for it, but I was like, okay, he's a Milan player now, I'm gonna support him, but I never wanted him.
Yeah. You know what the problem is though? I was for it. I said, this is a good signing. Like we have depth now. We have Andre Silva, Cutrone, Kalinic. Like if we're gonna get 8 goals each of them, 8 to 10, right? Like, we didn't expect Cutrone to get as many goals as he is though. Let's be serious.
No.
Because he had bursted onto the scene, right? But you look around, it's like okay, like Cutrone is gonna be a guy like an Inzaghi who needs the ball to score. He's not gonna take the ball and not make 4 guys and he's a guy great positioning, right? And put the ball in the back of the net.
We lack that guy that, like I said earlier, just gets the ball himself and he creates. Like, here's the ball, go.
Like Dybala.
We don't have that.
Dybala.
Like a perfect example has like been Dzeko recently. Like,
well, I feel like we need like a secondary, like someone who can play central.
Like for me, the perfect examples are, like I said earlier, like Benzema and Higuain. Like obviously, I don't think we'd get those kind of players, but like that's the kind of mold of a player I'm talking about.
But what happens if what if we get someone who's like a secondary player who can play in behind? Like how Dybala and Higuain play together.
I don't know. I don't feel like that would work just because the guys who are playing up front can't even score. No, so the guys who are behind are supposed to like assist, like you know what I mean. They're supposed to help them in what way if they can't even score.
No,
like right. We need that definitive score that like I'm gonna get the ball, I'm gonna score, and like whoever else is there is gonna help create it, or there's gonna be the secondary person to score off a rebound, or if they have their own kind of chance. But we need that one person who's that primary target, like an ace in baseball, like your pitcher. We don't have an ace striker like these guys. We've just kind of been rotating them to see like who can catch fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for those, and I understand we are all still completely confused as to why Kalinic starts all the time, and like why is he getting opportunity after Cutrone had an amazing game, Andre Silva had an amazing game, etc. I've finally come to the conclusion because I know all of us have many theories, especially at the transfer market. Will he get sold now? It's honestly, I think it's come down to a point now where they're just trying to play him as much to see if he'll spark something, to score a few goals, he'll get something viral, to see a few scouts be like, okay, maybe we'll target this guy in the summer. Because if he's sitting on the bench, no one's buying him. No one's buying him. So they're literally throwing him out there, especially knowing that, obviously Champions League's out of consideration and whatnot. They're literally throwing him out there to hopefully he'll score a few goals because obviously that will assist us and help us. But at the same time, it'll potentially increase his chances of being sold, because if he's sitting on that bench, there's no way in hell someone's buying him. No way. He doesn't have that kind of recognizability. No way.
No way in hell. You're right. And people don't understand. Like people don't understand. I guess that aspect of it, that you can't these people think that like these teams will be like, yeah, we'll take your dead weight. Sure, yeah.
No. It's a business. It's a business.
Yeah, it's not how it works. Like players have to play and perform, in order to do well. And
there's no club out there that's gonna be like, oh, you guys are struggling, you don't want this guy anymore, I'll take him off your hands. Don't worry. Like it just doesn't work that way. Everyone's fighting for the same goal.
No, exactly. It's like, okay, we'll help your club out and make your fans happy. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. Like I don't know. it's tough in a way. But as someone said in the live chat, Kalinic is like he has zero self-confidence. It's true. He doesn't have any self-confidence.
He doesn't, especially when you know fans aren't with you either. Like,
you know what? Like literally, and I don't know if you agree with me, like, but the Curva Sud, like these guys need to chill out. Like they can't whistle these players because then like the players are gonna be like, you know what? Screw these guys. What do I have to play hard for these guys?
I've always said about the Curva Sud, I always thank them, for going to support out the youth team. Like, that's incredible. Like, what I mean, showing support. Like, it shows you it's a family atmosphere, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I love, the tifo and the banners, and like it gives you goosebumps and chills every time you watch, right? But you have to understand, like, they're only, in my opinion, not to be mean, but they're only good for that. And the chants and all that kind of stuff. They're only good for that. When they get involved, and to be fair, they are fans, so they are entitled to an opinion. A lot of them watch the sport, so they know what they're talking about. But at the same time, when you have that high up position, because they have a more authority than we do as fans talking on a podcast, right? Because they're there. But they need to understand that, like, it's not the generation of like our parents, for example, where like players would come out and play, for the crest, for the club, for the jersey.
No, it's not.
Guys are out here playing because they're talented, they're skilled, and because they're trying to make money. It's the livelihood. It's not what it used to be.
No.
So you booing them on, like, I understand you're frustrated and you have the right to boo, especially if you're getting killed at home, for example. But at least I understand he's been frustrating to watch, and I want him gone too. Don't get me wrong. But at least support the guy and try to give him support for the rest of the season. And then when he's gone, he's out of our hands. We don't got to worry about him anymore.
No, exactly.
Until the time that he's still here, he's still a Milan player. You still have to, unfortunately, support him, because I don't want to. But because he's a Milan player, and I hope that he will help us out for the rest of these games, mentally just be like, okay, like, I hope he does well. You know what I mean?
Of course. Like, why would you ever hope a player on your team to not do well? Like, I just don't understand. Like, do you not want the team to do like some people would probably take like imagine Kalinic scored like 5 goals in the last 5 seasons and we keep him. And the last 5 games we keep him. It won't happen. But people don't want it to happen. Like, I don't care. I just want wins. Like, obviously
that's why people don't see it right. Going back to what I said earlier. For example, however X amount of games are left, each game he scores 1 goal. He let's just say he finds his form for the last few games. His name starts getting circled around the football world. People think we're going to keep him. No, that's what the management wants. They want him to score so they can sell him. If anything, that's better, because, again, it benefits us and it benefits, the chance of him being sold. He's not going to stay. No, everyone knows he's not going to stay. There's been reports that, his agent's, like, looking at other places and he doesn't want to stay. He doesn't feel the love of the fans.
I didn't get a lot of money there. There you go.
I mean, he should have went to China in the first place, but... Yeah,
but to be fair, do you want to go to China? Like, I mean, I honestly,
I can understand. Like, I don't know. For me, I would never. No disrespect.
I kind of like his mentality by saying I want to stay in Italy instead. I kind of like that mentality a little, because like he could have made triple his salary, but instead.
Well, I think it was because I think he knew he had Milan in sights. Because remember, he was like pleading to come here and everything.
And that's my problem with it too. Like, he really wanted to be. Like, he obviously like.
But I think it was more Montella than actually, because I think he knew he'd be safe here because of Montella. Like, he'd be covered. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. Montella never coached him.
Well, I know what you mean, but you know what I mean? Like, still coming here, like
no, but like my problem is that, like, I'm not even defending Montella because whatever, but like everybody's saying he's Montella's player. He never coached him at Fiorentina. Did you know that? A lot of guys didn't know that.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is, like, I guess they have some past relationship.
I'm just saying, like, obviously it was his dream transfer, right? He wanted to.
Yeah.
His dream transfer, which is fine. Like, a dream transfer, like if you wanted to come here, like, I want guys who want to come here, right? Like, I don't want guys. But so when it first happened, and again, I've watched him for Fiorentina before. So in my head, I'm thinking we're gonna get the same player, right?
Of course, it just didn't work out that way.
No, unfortunately not. I guess what the heck are you gonna do? Like, what do you can't do anything about it, and
But see, this is the thing now. The way I look at it is this, and this is my prediction. It could be right, it could be wrong. I don't know. But I'm just basing it off of this. For me, I understand that, between, like Fasson is saying, we're in a great spot. Like, we don't have to worry, et cetera. We don't have to sell people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I still feel like they will. Some big names, and I'll list a few names. And I'm not saying that I want them to. I'm just being realistic once again, and I feel like they will. Because, they will bring in the revenue.
Yeah.
We can easily use that to translate it onto areas that we need fixing.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, it's going to ruffle some feathers, especially with fans, etc. Are going to hear it through me on Twitter, but it's going to be a business decision. And for me, and I hope Kalinic will be sold. I think he will.
Yeah.
I also think Andre Silva will be sold.
Well, according to Andrea,
That's where I'm going with that. Yeah, that it reported that Milan told his agent Jorge Mendes that he's on.
Andrea's good. Andrea's good.
Yeah. No, exactly. That's why I'm bringing it up, because if it was just some random report, I wouldn't have said it. But because it's credible, I'm bringing it up. So the fact that he's saying that, I believe it. Will it happen? Maybe yes or no. I don't know, but I feel like it could happen. And also at the same time, and this is where I want to actually segue into, and I also feel like Suso will be sold as well.
I don't want it to happen.
And I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna touch on it because I don't want to get too deep into it because I don't know if it'll happen or not. And look, I really like the guy. He's a great player. And I remember, people like congratulating me because I remember I got into the whole Twitter beef with David Amoyal because I called Suso like the Pogba of Milan, coming out of nothing and like making a name for himself, and he took it way too literally, and I was getting roasted for it. Now, he's made a household name for himself, right?
Sure,
especially in Italy, and called up to Spain, et cetera, et cetera. For me, it's one of those things where he reminds me of a Robin in the sense, like, what he's going to do. He goes right, and then he fakes left, he crosses in, he looks for a shot. Like, what he's going to do. There's a lot of times where it's unstoppable. He's going to do it, and he still does it. However, there's a lot of times, and there's been more times now throughout the season as it's gone on, where teams have figured out what he's going to do. You look at Inter, for example. They double team him and put two guys on him, and he's completely knocked out of the play. And it slows us down, and it makes us worse because he's one of our creators, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, when he's on his game, he's incredible, and he helps us so much. He's so pivotal. However, when he's not, it's like we're playing with 10 guys on the field because he doesn't track back. He doesn't do those things. He's a very inconsistent player.
Yeah, but
So at the same time, what I'm saying is this, and I'm not saying I want him sold. I'm just saying I would understand from a business perspective from Fassone Mirabelli if they were to sell him, because I'm just looking at it this. How old is he? Do you know how old is he off the top of your head? How old, sorry?
24.
Okay, 24. I honestly thought he was older, but regardless.
Yeah, he's 24, so he's still young too.
So he's still young. So my thing is this. One, they made a mistake of putting a buyout clause at $40 million because that's low in today's market.
Yeah, what the hell?
You don't put a low buyout clause. You put a high buyout clause.
Absolutely.
And then if they want to negotiate, maybe you can actually get $40 million. Don't put the bar down at $40 million. You're just going to get that. Or negotiate, maybe you can get 45, maybe you get 50. That's the first mistake they made. But at the second time, to me, I could be wrong, and I really hope I'm wrong. I feel like he's one of those players where he's reached his peak. Like, he won't improve from here. Like, this is the kind of player he is, and that's what it is. Honestly, if he was older, I'd say yes, sell him because he's not going to get any better.
For sure.
Because he's younger, I can understand. But at the same time, I can understand if they sell him because they're like, what they're saying? He's not. We don't think he's going to get any better than this, and we can get the highest value for him now. If we keep him any longer, his value might decrease and he can get worse. I feel like that's what they're thinking.
I mean, like, I love Suso. I love him. I think he's been a top player for. He's one of the best. He's a top 5 creator in Serie A. And the problem is that when he's not on the field, who the hell is? The first half against Benevento was trash. Why? We couldn't even get a guy to put a nice cross in the box. And Suso is one of those guys that, he has technical. He's technical. He has a lot of technical qualities. He's a quality. He has technical ability. And we've seen it. And I think with these results, people when you draw Sassuolo or lose to Benevento, and people look at it and say, okay, yeah. So this means that this guy should go. Well,
I'm talking more on a whole. I'm not talking about one particular game. I'm taking the whole season into consideration.
But my problem is that people put the pinpoint on our best players. And it's nah, it's not the best players that are the reason why we're losing games or whatever. It's the depth, and there's nobody else. You know what? When Çalhanoğlu, we miss him a lot.
We do.
We miss him a lot, and it's crazy because I think I saw a picture. His record.
I saw that.
I think we have 4 losses in 7 games without him, and 1 win or 2 wins. I think that win came against. Oh my gosh, it might have been Sassuolo. I think there away. I could be wrong, but I think that was the wing we got.
The point still stands.
But like it's crazy because and another problem we have too. We have to talk about is we're not fast. We're so slow. Our build up and attack is like slow motion because there's no players who like the fastest player on the team is probably Borini, Calabria.
I don't know. Like it's honestly, I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. I feel like they're all even pace, to be honest. Like those kind of guys. Like Suso's one of those sprint guys. Like he'll give you a quick sprint, but like he's not more. He won't do the distance. Like
you know what?
He's kind of more like that.
But like he's not known for his.
No. I'm just saying if like we literally don't have that much speed.
He's known more for his like his ability with his feet, right? Yeah. I was actually saying I was talking to this guy and I said in Italian too. I was talking to this guy on Twitter. I basically just told him that, like, and he agreed with me. I'm like, these players are good with their feet. They have like technical, they have quality. They're quality, but they're just not fast. And at the beginning of the game when they have a lot of energy, sure, we can get like it's okay. But towards the end of the game,
they die out.
And then the other teams are faster. And then for example, like Felipe Anderson on Lazio, right? Lazio bring him on late sometimes, and he just goes at tired legs, right?
Yeah, he's a spark plug. He comes in, gives you the boost of energy because, again, like you said, he's fresh, right?
Yeah. No, exactly, and that's a problem. It's like, okay, like why don't we have anybody to like? Why don't we have anybody who can run?
And that's again going back to the whole bench issue. Like one of those guys, like you bring up Felipe Anderson, doesn't really start anymore, but he comes off the bench and he plays a crucial role. He gives you that burst of energy for those last 20, 15 minutes. Yeah, everyone's reaching like the tired stage, and he's coming in. He's got fresh legs. Like he's a game changer. We don't really have that.
I'd take him.
I don't really like him, but
no, but okay. But here's the thing. Like again, you look at Juve's wingers, okay? Mandzukic, who's very, very, very good for them. So yeah, Mandzukic, Douglas Costa, Bernadeschi, who am I missing? Quadrado. Is that four? I just mentioned 4 wingers for 2 spots, right? And then Dybala could play they play like a 4. So
yeah, they're very like multidimensional. Like they can do many things.
Absolutely,
and it allows you to adapt the opponent you're playing against as well. Because whether you run a 4-3-3 or whatever, you're playing a certain opponent, and tactically, the coach is like, I can play this formation because I think you'll beat them, and you have the players to fit it. Of course, we have players that just fit 4-3-3. We switched to a 3-5-2. Even now with Gattuso, and it's the biggest frenzy because no one we don't really have players that fit it. We're kind of one-dimensional in a sense. It worked for quite some time, but now it's kind of like people are figuring us out. You take Suso out of the game, that's half their offense right there.
Yeah, I think it's more than half.
Yeah, you actually push an Andre Silva or Cutrone farther out of the box, and they also become useless because now there's literally Suso's not sending crosses. If he does, he's sending it to the air because those guys are not in the box anymore. That's literally their game plan, and they take us out of it.
Yeah, no, exactly. And unfortunately, it's just how our attack is bad. And I know it's second guessing, but like I just wonder if Carlos Baca could score more on this team. I don't know. What do you think? Like,
I don't know. For me, all these players are the same. For me, like,
yeah, they are. You're right.
They're all the same. For me, I'm more of a team guy in the sense like if you were giving me a budget, I would rather spend it more on completing a team than rather having one star player. Like, you know what I mean? But it comes to a point now where we actually have the team. You need that focal point, that face of the franchise kind of player. I don't really have that.
But like, here's the thing: like, imagine we get like someone like Depay as a left winger.
Oh, another winger is needed for sure. But I'm talking more about a striker. If you're selling, for example, hypothetically, Andre Silva and Kalinic, for example, there's like quite a bit of good money coming out of that, right? You have Cutrone who can be your backup. He rotates with someone else. But if you're selling those 2 guys, I'm expecting someone. I'm not saying you're gonna go sign like Benzema or someone like that, but like I'm expecting a big name. Like if you could snatch Dzeko off of Roma, I don't think that would happen. But hypothetically speaking, someone like that or someone that's gonna come in and score goals. Like, that's what they're here to do, kind of like what Ibra did when he came with us. Like, he was coming here to score goals, and he did that. If we can get that kind of player, I think our issues are solved because Cutrone comes in fresh. He comes in, he does his job, and I think we'll score more goals that way. But I don't know. We'll see. The summer's gonna be a good a bar of where going forward into next season. Have we improved? Have we not? What areas were fixed? What areas were not fixed? And after there's gonna be 2 years, like, where are we at?
Yeah. No, exactly.
Because what's his name? Oh, I'm forgetting his name. Wow. Senza B on Twitter. What's his name, man?
The best.
Of course. He's always saying that, like, he has a good point when he brings, like, he has controversial points here and there, but, like, he brings up a good point, Like I said earlier, Milan's only in basically their first year of being rebuilt.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Just in, what, 4 or 5 years, and what the hell have they done?
And yeah, no, exactly. And
they're in the same cycle. That's what I don't want. But, at least I'm taking what we have right now because we spent the money early. We have a foundation. I brought up last year in the summer, like, you got to build a house, right? You have to have your foundation, then you start building the structure, and then you complete it. I feel like we have a foundation now. We need to add pieces to build the structure. And then as the year go on, maybe make a top signing, and then there you go. You have your house. But right now, we still have a few levels to complete.
Absolutely. And it's just, like, you're totally spot on. Like, he's spot on too. And you just, like, for me, again, like, the huge thing, I've repeated it again, is depth has to be a thing. You got to have guys coming. You got to have guys fighting for spots. If a guy plays a bad match, he can't be comfortable saying, yeah, no worries, I'm still going to play every match.
Yeah, especially if they're too comfortable knowing that, like, I'm the best player in this position because no one else is going to take it away from me. I have a few bad matches. It's okay because I know I'm going to start. Like, that's kind of been the Bonaventura thing. Like, there's not really anyone challenging for a spot. He's had quite a few rough games, but he knows, like, no one's taking my spot. So even though I'm struggling, one game that I bounce back, I'm going to be okay.
And like, Manuel Locatelli has not been that good when he comes on either.
But I think now, what it is he's kind of, especially that he's young, right? Like, he's our age, right? So, like, there's a lot of learning to do.
I know.
There's a lot of learning to do.
I love the guy. But, like, he has to, like,
for me, it's now with Belia being out for a couple weeks, this is his time to shine because I think he's taken over Montolivo as a secondary replacement.
I think Montolivo's starting Sunday. I think it's Monto. I think it was Sky. Was it Sky? I don't know. Someone, I forget who reported it. Someone said that Montolivo was a poll. Yeah, I think it's him. So, I don't know. It sucks that Lucas Belia is out, though, man. It's a big loss. No,
I know.
He's been the best, like, one of the best players, and I don't understand people say he's garbage. Like, it's not true. It's fake news. He's not garbage.
When I said it from the summer, I wanted him, and he's proven a lot of people wrong who didn't want him.
He controls the tempo of a match. He came off, like, with a knock against Torino, and the match changed. It changed right away, and they scored. They scored 5 minutes after he came off. And then he came off against Benevento too. So I don't know.
We'll miss him. It's either Locatelli who can improve himself in his last few matches. It shows that he's come to his position, or else, honestly, I would loan him out just to give him that experience and that playing time.
Maybe
I would never sell him, but I would loan him out.
No, I'd never sell him either.
Experience and then come back.
But yeah, give him more chances. But like, again, we'll wrap it up with like a little. We're gonna talk about the last 5 games because we're getting a lot of minutes here. So yeah, aside from the depth, we have to look at the next games of the season. We have Coppa Italia. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games left. 6, 5 games left of the season. 4 in Serie A, and the Coppa Italia final. So we got Bologna away on Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Then Verona at home next Saturday. We have to take 6 points from those 2 teams. Then we have the Coppa Italia.
Every point counts now. Every point counts.
Coppa Italia final, May 9th. It's a Wednesday. That's huge for us. It's a 1 game. Anything can happen. Anything can happen with it, and I don't know. obviously Juve are a strong team. It's gonna be hard to beat them. I'm probably gonna be, really nervous and whatever while the game's going on. But we have to, if we want to make I want Europa League. I do.
Same.
I want Europa League, so because I think another year, we're Europa League level right now. Another year Europa League, and then we bring guys in, get depth, and then it's a process. Right? It's always a process, right? So, again, we have to beat, and then we have Atalanta, Fiorentina last 2 games. Of course, we have them. The two teams are fighting for European spots. It was only meant to be. We have Atalanta away, and then Fiorentina at home to end the year. So, again, 7th place gets you Europa League. Just to let you know.
Yeah.
Because you and Juve in the Coppa Italia final. If Juve win, they're already in Champions League, so it goes to 7th spot. And if we win, we'll get it anyway. So either if we lose, we win. We gotta get 6th or 7th. Right now we're in 7th. It's in our hands. As long as we take care of business,
it's for us to lose.
Exactly. And because we lost against Benevento, I will guarantee a win on Sunday. We're gonna win on Sunday.
Hope so.
We're gonna come out with fire on Sunday. There's no way. There's no way we don't. We'll score a goal, but when they aren't that strong, they're dangerous, but they're not that strong. No, I think we're gonna come out with fire. I'm not too worried. I believe in the team. I believe in Gattuso. He's the man for the job, and he's proven it. I'm sick and tired of people on Twitter. Oh yeah, he should have got an extension already. What does it matter? What, they wouldn't have lost those games? Like there's so much second guessing. It's all second guessing. Like, oh yeah, if we didn't do this, this would have happened. Like, no, it's all if. Like Gattuso, like, he's the guy. Like we played the best football with Gattuso we have in years. Like we have a good formation. He's developed players in the way that he wants them to play. Our defense has been way more, even with the games that we're tying and losing, our defense has been way more solid. Aside from Juventus, when's the last time we conceded, like, in Chievo? But we haven't really conceded more than 1 goal in a match.
No, we've been solid back there. Sorry.
So again, we'll wrap it up for now. But yeah, hopefully, I'm thinking we might do another episode after the Coppa Italia final. Maybe the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it and whatnot, and then it'll be after 2 more Serie A games too. So yeah, we're gonna wrap things up. I think we're at near the hour mark. So again, thank you to all who listen live. We just do it live still because why not? It's kind of cool for people to listen live and do a live chat. But our main, it's uploaded to Apple iTunes, and Google Play. So for Androids and iPhones, you can download, listen to us while you're running, driving, whatever. Subscribe to us on iTunes, please. Leave a rating, leave a 5-star rating, comment, constructive criticism too. We're almost at 8K followers on Twitter, which is huge. Hopefully we can get to 10K at the end of the summer. That's our goal. But yeah, Mike, thanks for coming on finally.
Thank you. I know it's been a long time.
Yeah, man. Okay, so we're gonna wrap things up, guys. Thank you for listening. Big game on Sunday. Every point matters. Ciao ragazzi, forza Milan.
Ciao.
Ciao.